Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to my custom home wine cellar. So, maybe not yet, but it's going to be a wine cellar. So I'm getting ready to start finishing the basement. I'm going to be doing it a section at a time. I did the shop 8 or 9 years ago. Next I'm getting ready to do the gym, which is right here. I have all my wine storage over here. It's hard to see based on the lighting, but I have a freestanding cellar and then a bunch of wine that's sitting out. So as part of this remodel, I'm going to take this basically unusable space underneath the stairs. I'm going to extend this out a little bit, and then all of this is going to get a vapor barrier, insulation, finish, and then I'm going to put in a unit that will control the temperature and humidity to get it appropriate for wine storage. So it's going to come out this way. My current thinking, and this may evolve, there's going to be a door right here. It has to be an exterior door because of the temperature, humidity controlling here. So I got a lot of work to do, but this will hopefully be a fun project, and more importantly than that, at the end, I'm going to have a really nice and effective place to store my wine. So please follow along, enjoy, maybe learn something along the way. I will be certainly learning a lot as I'm doing some things I haven't done before, so thanks for watching.
So this project starts with framing, and here I'm using 2x4s on 16-inch centers, framing this back wall section. Each section is adhered to the floor using both construction adhesive and then powder actuated nails. This video is a compilation of all the videos that I've shot on the wine cellar project. I've left them more or less in order, and as sort of chapter headers I have the titles from each of the videos. They weren't all in the wine cellar series, but they are all in the basement series. So please enjoy, and thank you for watching.
Here's Johnny! Looks pretty good.
You'll hear me mention this again, but I chose to use rock wool for this project for the wine cellar, although I just used fiberglass insulation for the remainder of the basement. I chose rock wool for a couple of reasons. One, it's an excellent sound insulator as well as being a thermal insulator, which will help reduce vibration in the wine cellar. It's also much more resistant to moisture, and since there will be different humidity levels in and outside of the cellar, as well as a vapor barrier around the outside, I felt it was important to have that capability as well to prevent any concerns about mold over time. So the vapor barrier is really important, but it wasn't really all that much fun. I used 6mm plastic sheeting, and this is put up starting with black caulk for a sealant. So that goes onto the studs. The plastic sheeting is then applied directly onto that caulk to create a seal, and then it is stapled, and to the best extent I could, I stapled directly through the wet caulk, hoping to not leave any penetrations that would allow for moisture transport.
So just a quick sort of mid-project update. So I'm standing in the door of the wine cellar. You can see here behind me. When we go in a second, I'll turn this other light back behind me so we can see a little bit better. But all around the outside, this has now been insulated with rock wool. So great insulation, sound barrier. There is vapor barrier applied on the outside of this wall here. I need to continue doing that around the outside here and over here. Unfortunately, the back wall, I had to do it from this side. So I had to tuck the plastic in, get that all sealed up before I put the insulation in, and sort of the same thing on the ceiling. So pulled plastic across the top and then went up the sides and got that all sort of sealed all the way around and then to itself. And next I'm going to sort of tuck insulation up into that. So let's just take a quick walk through here and see where we are before I start adding that insulation next. Okay, so let's walk on in here. You can see all that rock wool insulation down under the stairs over here. So this back wall, vapor barrier behind the wall, rock wool, vapor barrier all up underneath the stairs here. Insulated that first part. Still need to put in insulation up here. And then transitioning to the ceiling, you can see the whole ceiling now has vapor barrier up above it, across, sealed around the edges, and that is now ready for insulation. So that's our next task, is getting insulation up in here, and then vapor barrier the outside of the other walls as well. So this back wall here, the vapor barrier was placed from this side, and then the insulation as I described earlier.
I was smart enough to recognize my limitations and actually hired a drywall contractor. So I can put drywall up. It takes me a long time. I can finish it. It takes me a really, really, really long time. And so the guys I hired were absolutely amazing. So two brothers here hung all the rock, and then a couple of other professional guys finished it for me. They did it in 1/1,000,000th as long as it would have taken me, and the job is much, much better. So I'm not sure this project would have ever gotten done if I hadn't brought these guys in, and they were amazing.
Completely sheetrocked, and this was really, really tricky. So weird little soffit over here, cut out for the cooling unit. And the hard part, this stuff back over here underneath the stairs, all these crazy angles up underneath the steps, just beautifully done.
There are a lot of options available when you're looking for cooling units for wine cellars, and I think a couple things that are important considerations are basically the capacity you need. So what is the volume of your space? What is the temperature differential inside of the cellar versus outside? You want to have a unit that's sized appropriately, and you want to have one that's really hopefully going to be a good value over time. I ended up choosing a unit from Wine Guardian. So it's been up and running for some time now. It's great so far. Everything I've read, I hope to have a long service life from it, and we'll let you know at some point in the future. So I spent a fair amount of time trying to decide on my flooring. Because I'm in the basement, there's potential for water to get in. I really don't want to have to replace a floor. I decided to go with a high quality vinyl and to glue it down directly to the subfloor. In case any moisture does come in, this floor should stand up to that. So my buddy Tony helped me, did an amazing job. So this is a product from Mannington, and it seems to be extraordinarily high quality. It looks fantastic, and hopefully it's going to last for, more or less forever. So while I was away at work, my contractor buddy Tony installed this exterior door for me on the outside of the wine cellar. It has to be an exterior door because of its vapor barrier and insulation properties. Just a regular interior door would let too much sort of heat and moisture in and out. I went with this design here because it sort of looks like oak. It's got this nice frosted glass, and most importantly to me, aesthetically, was this really cool wrought iron thing in the front, which makes me think of a wine cellar. So my next task is to install the hardware over here. So it's just going to be sort of a handle and then a deadbolt locking system. And because of this wrought iron, this is sort of a look that I want to sort of carry throughout the design into the cellar. And so I went to a company called Ageless Iron, and I found this really cool cast iron set. So this thing feels like it weighs about 300 pounds. It's like really, really solid, really, really well made. So it's going to last forever, and I'm getting ready to install this here. let's turn it on for the first time. All right, that's going to take a little while to get down to 55, but in the meantime, let it go to work. I'm going to show you how I did this beautiful white oak trim on the exterior door to the wine cellar. So this door is masonite, but it is sort of stained to look like white oak. The grain's a little different, the color's a little different, and then I was using real oak. So what I really tried to accomplish here was get at least the tone of the two the same so they look complementary. I feel pretty good about that. Okay, so with the wine cellar sort of done, to at least to this stage, let's sort of check it out and talk about what's next. So coming in, temporary storage, cooling unit is running, more temporary storage heading back this way, back underneath the stairs. This is going to be a cabinet, a little counter here. So at this stage, my wine cellar is fully functioning. I've got it loaded up, I've got my inventory controlled, and I'm very, very happy with it. So I'm going to sort of consider this done, at least for phase one. So I'm going to now sort of start transitioning now that the basement is effectively done, the wine cellar is up and functioning, and I'm going to move on. The next major task I'm going to accomplish is going to be in here. So on this back wall here, I'm going to be building a set of cabinets down below, sort of where I'm standing. Those are going to come out, those are going to be 2 bottles deep, sort of this way, and they're going to come all the way up to a countertop at standard counter height. On that countertop, I'm going to have a lever pull wine opener. I'm not sure what else is going to be incorporated there, but then from there up and around the cooling unit are going to be wooden sort of butt-in racks along the sides where I have all of these temporary racks. I'm going to be building something more permanent and something a little more attractive. So the plan is to go with white oak for everything in here. It's going to be a major project or projects, and it's going to probably progress in phases. But at this point, very, very happy. Ready to get back in my wood shop and start working on these cabinets next. So I hope you enjoyed this project. Feel free to view all of the other sub projects with a lot more detail, both on the wine cellar as well as the basement project in general. If you enjoy this content and want to see more, please subscribe down below. Hit the bell to get notified for future videos. Ask a question, share with your friends, etc. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.